Hey everybody, Tanya from Shooting Star SVG back, and today we are going to talk about how to open an Etsy shop, or if you haven't opened an Etsy shop before, how to open an Etsy shop for beginners. And if this is your first time here at the channel, go ahead and click on like and subscribe below if you have not already done that, so that you can get tips and tricks to grow your passive income and your sales through Etsy, Shopify, and other platforms for free. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here. This is the Etsy homepage. And to open your shop, you're going to want to scroll all the way down to the bottom. And there is a section called Sell. And you will go ahead and click on Sell on Etsy. Now, I will note when you come to this page, there is a ton of information here in the top. I do recommend, if you have time and you haven't already, to go ahead and read through some of these. I noticed that a lot of people that I go through and coach are floundering for, SEO and search tactics and how they can get more sales and visitors to their shop. And the crazy thing is Etsy provides all of that information for you in their seller's handbook and all of the material that they have on their website. So I do highly recommend you understand that. I highly recommend that you go through and understand their fees, because Etsy does take out fees for listings, as well as transaction fees, and also shipping fees if you are doing physical products. So to get started, you're just going to scroll on down and click on Open Your Etsy Shop. Okay, and here you can enter in your email address. You can go through your Google account, Facebook, Apple, whatever your heart desires. Okay, so I created an email address just for this, passive income on Etsy, which surprisingly was not taken. Click on continue, and you will have to put in your first name and your password, and click on register. And this is going to think for a second. Now, once you're registered, what you'll see is this will be here. Now, if you already have an account, you don't have to go through this step. You just have to sign in, and then you can click on Open Your Etsy Shop. All right. So you can go ahead and start here to open your Etsy shop if you're already signed in. So you click on Open Your Etsy Shop, right? It's going to bring you to your shop preferences. You're going to want to fill out your shop language, what your country is, and what your currency is. And then what describes you here? Are you selling full-time? Are you selling part-time but hope to sell full-time? I know that's my goal, right? So you go ahead and fill that out and click on Save and Continue. The next thing that you are going to want to do is name your shop. Okay? I did not do my due diligence before I made this video, so hopefully we can find something pretty quickly. All right. I know that most of my shops are just going to focus on. Let me check the availability here. It's available. So I do have some print-on-demand products specifically geared towards engineers. That is available, but you are going to want to check the availability probably before you get started. And you can just do that using the Etsy search bar up here. And I'm probably just going to edit all this BS out, so that way you guys don't have to watch me fumble through it. And I think that you can change your shop name. I know that I had a shop name and then changed it. So you do have the ability to change your name one time. So I'm just going to do Engineerholic for now, because this is just a test anyhow. And you're going to click on Save and Continue. Okay, now Etsy does recommend that you start off with 10 listings. And that means you have more chances to be discovered when you have a little bit of stock to your shop. I will tell you, when I started my original SVG shop, and I'll just go to a link for it right now, I currently have 598 listings. And when I started, I think I had 5. And I started right around the time people were purchasing for Halloween. So don't be discouraged if you don't have 10. If you only have a couple, just get them up going. So I'm actually just going to add one of my SVGs. So you're going to go ahead and click on Add Listing. The first thing you're going to want to do is add a photo. Now, I do recommend that if you're adding photos, that you watch the video that I'm about to link up above, because that will show you the appropriate ratio to use for your thumbnails, or everything will be skewed. Okay. So I am going to let's go do some dinosaurs, and I'm going to make these a little bit bigger. Okay, so we'll do that. Now, Etsy does now have a video feature, so if you are so inclined, you can add a video to your Etsy store. I haven't utilized this yet, but I know they're doing a big push for it. You also have to come in and fill out your listing details. The title is very important. If I can stress anything at all, do not keyword stuff your title. It looks horrible. And with Etsy's algorithm now, back in the day, keyword stuffing your title was like a huge thing. Everybody was doing it. But to be honest, it just looks like total junk. You don't want to do that, okay? So just keep it simple. So for this case, this is unstoppable dinosaur SVG, T-Rex, dinosaur SVG, funny SVG. So I will say that most people separate their titles with either dashes, or they use the just the long, I don't know what you call that line there in the middle. Just don't be crazy with your title, and keep in mind that whatever you have in your title will count in Etsy search as a quote unquote keyword or tag. Okay, so you don't have to duplicate these in your tags. These are tags when people go search for your item. When you go to about this listing, basically you have to select who made it, what is it, and for this case, since this is an SVG that people are using, I always check a supply or tool to make things. That is totally up to you. And then when you made it, okay? The category is very important. If you're selling digital downloads, it really depends. I mean, if you're selling clip art, there is a section for clip art and image files. There's also a digital section in drawing and illustration, which I know a lot of people use. There's digital prints in art and collectibles. So you really want to sit down and focus on what you are trying to do. So I know for a lot of my stuff, I will do clip art and image files. And here all these categories count as tags on your items. So that's a really nice thing too. The craft type. So if people are looking at the craft type, you click on these. All of these will be tags. You can select a subject if you have them. I can select animal in this case, and just look through those and determine what's good. Also link their width if you're providing a digital print. If you have multiple options, then you can provide that. Primary color and secondary color, which will also count towards tags and ways people can find you if they're using long tail keywords. And you'll learn more about that as you get into keyword searching and search engine optimization. You can choose an occasion. In this case, I'll do like first birthday, or you can choose a holiday. Since I do digital downloads, I always have my renewal options on automatic, and obviously I'm going to click on digital. If you don't want your listings renewed automatically, you can click manual, and in the back end of your shop, it will warn you. Now, I do use canned descriptions for all of my files. I do recommend that you do this. That way there's some consistency. So I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to pull the description from one of my listings, if it will let me. And it's being a pain in the butt for some reason. So let me try this one. Okay. And I find with digital downloads, it's very important to let people know, okay, that is a digital download. They're not going to be receiving a physical product, okay? There are things in your description that are ridiculously important for you to put in. I also recommend that you take your title and you put it in the beginning of this description, because Etsy's going to read that. And so this will also kind of rank you in the search. Include what file formats you have if you're doing digital. Basically anything about your product that you can explain, put it in there, okay? And digital is a very specific niche, and you kind of need to make sure that you spell it out for people, or you'll get a lot of complaints, okay? If you have a production partner, you can add it here. You can add in a section. In this case, I'll just type in dinosaur SVG. The tags are so critical. I know that it says optional here, but you want to make sure that you are using the right keywords so that when people punch in a certain search term in Etsy search bar, that they will find you. So on this, I'm going to do dinosaur, SVG, I can't spell tonight. Stoppable, SVG, T-Rex, SVG. And keep in mind that Etsy does limit tags to 20 characters. I'm just going to put these 3 in. Now, normally when I do a listing, I will use an SEO tool like Marmalade or eRank to help me find keywords. And I highly recommend you do that too. And I have a video on that I will post above. And also, you can put in your materials as well. And in this case, I will say silhouette, cameo, Cricut, Maker, Cricut, Explore Air, and that'll be fine. So I put those in because those will actually also count as tags as well. You want to put your price in for quantity, I always do $999 because that is the max that you can do. That way I don't have to worry. And if you want to do a SKU, basically, people will not see them, you can. You can also add personalization if that's something that you so wish. And then you just have to go in and upload your file. I do highly recommend, if you are doing digital, that you provide multiple file types and that you zip them into a zip folder. Or I guess if you're just doing one file type, you can just upload what you're doing. In this case, I have a zip file packaged with an SVG, a PNG, a DXF, and a JPEG. So I have 4 files all taken care of in there. So that was a little bit long-winded. I'll go into Etsy listings a little bit more. And if you guys have questions on how that works, let me know. And I'm happy to answer them in the comments below. So I will say that sometimes Etsy will give me this little ding ding right here. And you scroll up to try to see what you forgot. And then, hey, guess what? I didn't forget anything. So just try it again and it will go through. Okay. So now that you have an item in your shop, you can go ahead and click on Save and Continue. And then you have to fill out how you will get paid and your billing. So for me, I am in the United States. Obviously, all of this information is private, so I am not going to show you what that looks like. I'm going to pause and fill that out, and then I'll come right back. Okay, so my confirmation email has been sent. I'm just going to go ahead and refresh this, and hopefully that will work. Okay, so here you have to set your billing up. It says it will add 20 cents to your bill for the first listing in your shop. So keep that in mind. If you are putting in one listing, you'll be charged 20 cents right off the jump for that first listing fee. And if you add 10, you will be charged $2. Okay. Obviously, if you're not making any sales, that will put you in the red until you get going, right? So here you're going to have to add your billing information and then you can open up your shop. So I'm going to go ahead and do that very quickly, and then I will come back. When you're done filling out this information, okay, you can go ahead and open your shop up. Now, as you start making sales, Etsy will automatically take your fees out of what your sales are. So it's kind of very useful. Really, my credit card now never gets charged, right? Because it's just taking it automatically out. And I'll show you what that looks like by going into the back of Shop Managers. I'm just going to sign out over here real quick. Hopefully this doesn't screw anything up. And sign in. And if I go to my Shop Manager, you will see that in my finances, I have 0 due for July. And you can see here that they do charge a fee and tax, and they will show you what your net earnings are. Okay, so you'll see the sale, and you'll have your fee and tax, and then you'll have your transaction fee, and then you'll have your listing fee to relist it. So, I mean, you're getting a ton of fees taken out for just one item. So just keep that in mind, okay? So I'm going to go ahead back here and fill this out. And then again, click on Open Your Shop, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so now that Etsy has processed all of that information, this is what you will see, okay? So Etsy's actually just added this feature, New from Shop. where when you go into the back of your shop, they will show what has been added in the last 4 weeks right at the top, which is cool. Then they will show all items. You will see your sales and your admirers. So how many sales you've made and how many admirers, how long you've been on Etsy for, and all this great jazz. So I do recommend that you edit your shop. It's very important that everything is filled out. You want to have a good branding and good icon to set everything up. You want to make sure that you have a very nice picture. I recommend that you just use your icon. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the back of my shop and I'm going to show you what mine looks like. You can actually add a layout for featured items that you can feature, and they'll get that started for you. You'll also have your dashboard in the back, and there's just like a lot of different things that you can play around with. If you have any questions about how all this stuff works, feel free to let me know. Like I said, I'm just going to sign out here and I'm going to log back into my other Etsy shop so you can see what that looks like, because it is mostly filled out for the most part. So here back in Shop Manager, you'll see the dashboard. If you go to settings, you can go to info and appearance, and you can change your shop icon. You change your shop title. You can change your shop name one time. You can have an order receipt banner for when people order from you. And then also you can connect to your Facebook and Twitter. I do recommend putting in a shop announcement, and then you have a message to buyers if this is for physical products on the top here, and then for digital you have a message here, and I do highly recommend that you fill that out with your information. Okay. Also, you want to make sure that your shop policies are filled out. You can fill those out in the home. I'll go ahead and click on that so you can see what that looks like. And so you want to make sure that you have shop policies. Okay. You can add a video if you like. You can add photos with captions here to kind of show people what you're working with. And then you can add a headline and kind of like an about me section as far as, what you do and how you got here. You can add in your social media accounts, and if you have any other members that are working with you, you can add other members in. And then you want to make sure that you have all of your returns and exchange information in here, and then any frequently asked questions that you might have. Okay, so it's very important to make sure that everything is filled out, because that is going to help you rank on Etsy. And that's really all there is to it. Okay, that's how you will go through it and open up your shop and get started. Hopefully you will start off and have great success. If you need help getting traffic, or you need help with keywords or things like that, go ahead and check out some of the videos on my channel for Etsy SEO. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope you got something out of this. Feel free to drop a comment below if you run into any snags, and I'll catch y'all later.